Now, let's get back to the pandemic and the medical side of things and catch up with Professor Michael Toole, who joins us from Melbourne. He's an epidemiologist with the Burnet Institute. First up, Michael, thanks for joining us. I wonder if you can share with us just your level of concern about the increasing number of blood clotting events we're getting in this country linked to the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Good evening, Chris. Well, yes, the official number reported has doubled to 11, almost doubled. It's interesting that the most recent 5 cases have been in people over 50. But you have to understand that since April the 9th, basically only people over 50 have been getting the AstraZeneca vaccine. So, of course, it's pretty obvious that we wouldn't get cases reported under 50. So they are of concern. They have been less severe in these older patients than in the younger ones. In fact, I heard today that they're all out of hospital, except one. So, look, when you look at the risk-benefit ratio, particularly for the over 50s, it's still very much in the AstraZeneca vaccine is still in the very benefit side of the coin, because it's people over 50 that have a much higher risk of severe COVID, ending up in an ICU on a ventilator, than people under 50. And so this risk, which is currently standing at about 1 in 75 to 100,000 shots of the vaccine, is still a very low risk compared with the risks of severe COVID.
Now, tell us about the strategies we're seeing in this country. There's a lot of focus on improving hotel quarantine, but when you look at the numbers, less than 1% of the cases in this country are traced directly to hotel quarantine. I mean, it's 99% and above effective. Obviously, you've got to be making it as effective as possible, and some of these lapses we've seen need to be fixed. But the system has been a roaring success, hasn't it, in this country? It's the prime reason we've remained relatively COVID-free.
Well, because I think you have to look at the impact, both direct and indirect, of that 1% leaks. In fact, I just checked today, it's for every 106 infected return travellers, 1 leads to a leak.
Yep.
Now, we've been relatively lucky in that most of those leaks have only led to 1, 2, 3, single-digit cases, with the exception of the Avalon and Berrilla clusters in Sydney that led to more than 300 cases. But it's the disruption that's caused by these lockdowns, by interstate closures, border closures. Those clusters in Sydney in December, January led to a $3 billion hit on the Sydney economy. Now, that's substantial. So I think from just the economic point of view, we, the collective 9 governments of the country, should be investing in longer-term, safer facilities that will prevent those $3 billion hits. And we've had the same thing happen in Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne and Brisbane. So I think the investment is well worthwhile, and we need facilities like Howard Springs, at least in every state. I know there are sort of geographic challenges in Sydney. I've been told there's very little flat land. I've been told just between Sydney and Wollongong there might be some.
Yeah.
But the other capitals, it's very easy to do.
We'll continue to pursue that issue. Thanks for joining us, Michael. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.